know a lot of people think that horror is mainly about, pulling your blankets, sleepless nights, or jump scares, but no, horror can be anything. It could be fun, it could be cozy, it could be nostalgic, and it could be completely addictive. So, yes, today I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite beginner friendly horror books to ease you into this genre, and stay till the end because at the end I'm going to suggest you some movies to get you fully into the spooky season vibe. First up is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This book was so much fun to read, like I imagined it completely in sepia. It's set in the 80s, and there's something about that backdrop which feels so comforting and nostalgic. Like if you have to compare it to a series, think maybe Stranger Things, that music, the fashion, that slightly eerie and creepiness which lays behind. Yes, that's precisely the energy that this book carries as well. In this story, we follow two best friends, Abby and Gretchen, who have been like so tight since childhood. But when they enter high school, things start changing a bit. Like Gretchen starts acting a bit weird. Initially, it's just small, tiny things, but later on, a lot of things pile up, and Abby believes there is only one explanation. Yes, and that is Gretchen has a demon living inside her. What makes this book so great is that it perfectly balances this horror with the warmth of their friendship. So yeah, there are generally like creepy and scary moments, but then there are so many heartfelt moments. You see their banter, you see the warmth, you see the friendship, you're just so pulled into that relationship as well. So there's like an overall balance throughout. If you're new to horror, this book is just perfect for you. One main reason is because of this setting, this nostalgia that it sets. Like it's kind of comforting. So when I was growing up, I used to watch these Indian horror shows like Shh Koi Hai and Ahat, and this book kind of took me back to those days. So there's something about this setting that kind of makes you more at ease. The scare in this book is actually being gradually built up. So by the time the real horror actually kicks in, you're kind of ready for it. It's not going to come like boo all at once. So it's a kind of book that will give you the right amount of chills without actually going into this nightmarish zone, which is perfect for a beginner horror book. Next up is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. So now this book is what? Plot twist after plot twist after plot twist after plot twist. So if you think you have seen it all with Haunted Houses book, all your conjurings, all your haunting of the Hill House, those floorboard creaking, those light flickering, you think you've seen it all? This book takes this concept of haunted house and flips it completely on its head. So here's the deal. So Maggie, who's the main character, she inherits this Victorian house, and it was the same house where her family had fled from when she was little. And her dad actually wrote a memoir about this place and all the hauntings that took place over there. But Maggie does not believe a single word of it. And it's not until later that she kind of moves in back again to this place to renovate it and to sell it. And then things start getting weirder and creepier. So think of this book not just as a pure horror, but as two parallel tracks, one which is the horror one, and then there's a twisty mystery, and both of them run parallel to each other, and both of them are equally compelling. So I was reading this book late at night, I was finishing it, and I was genuinely scared because I thought I heard noises in my walls. But I still couldn't keep it down because the mystery element of it had me like flipping the pages to find out what was actually happening. And this is exactly why this book will work perfectly if you're new to horror, because even if they're like these spooky, creepy things, which is going to give you these horror chills, there's this like mystery element which is happening, which is going to bring out the inner detective in you and make you want to find out what's happening. So this book is fun, clever, and highly readable. For all my twist lovers out there, if you are reading this book and if you think that you have figured a twist or two, you may be right. But I can guarantee you that you cannot figure out all the twists in this book. And to be honest, they don't even feel overwhelming. Yes, keep it coming. Next up is House of Hollow by Krista Sutherland. This is a young adult book, and this YA took me completely by surprise. So this book starts off like this whimsical fairy tale, and suddenly it kind of gets under your skin when creepy things start happening. The plot is also very interesting. It's like many years ago, like there were three sisters who disappeared very randomly, and suddenly, in a few weeks, they were found again at the same place. And once they were back, nothing was the same ever again. And fast forward many years, and again, one of the sister goes missing, and that's when the real mystery kicks in. The main interesting part is like the point of view from you reading from that person, that sister, she has forgotten her memory. So this book is like, like an onion where you're kind of peeling the layers and you're finding what's the mystery, what's the creepiness that's going on chapter by chapter, and you're finding it along with the narrator. What I loved the most about this book was its atmosphere that it built. It's eerie and hypnotic, and it's beautifully written. So this is a book where you constantly get this feeling that something is off, but you can't put your finger on it, There's something wrong with what? And this is what kept me reading, and I finished it in one sitting. And I have to tell you, the writing of this book is so beautiful. The pacing is perfect, and you will be flipping pages through this book in no time to actually, because you would be dying to know what is happening. And that's why, again, it's a great horror, because it's creepy in a way that's not overwhelming, but it's very addictive. Also, like, it's a YA, but still it's very mature for a YA. It's not going to, rely on cheap tricks or, cheap jump scares. It's unsettling in the way that it will get under your skin, but without being very overwhelming. I promise you, you won't regret picking this book up. And I feel the writing, especially on the writing of this book, is an absolute 5-star. Like, it was one of the most gorgeously written YA I have ever read. Next up is Several People Are Typing by Calvin Kessel. This book is just wild. Like, imagine if Black Mirror crashed into your Slack channel, and I'm telling you, the result is going to be absolutely creepy. It blends workplace comedy, sci-fi, horror all together, but make no mistake, this book is creepy as hell. Like, imagine waking up one morning and you realize your consciousness is actually trapped into Slack. Like, there's no body, there's no escape, just endless ping, awkward chats, and the horrible realization that you might be stuck here forever. What I absolutely love about this book is very entertaining. It's very quick to read. It's a short book. It's written in the form of Slack chat, so it's not like very heavy on its prose. Like, it reads super fast. And if you've ever worked in an office, it feels even more creepy, because the conversations feel so real that it just feels unsettling. Like, it just feels like you're viewing something that you're not supposed to. Light, modern, offbeat, great for a first horror pick. This is not the type of horror which is like ghosts or gore. It's this horror of slowly losing control and then ultimately being in the fear of technology taking over one of the most boring areas of life. And it's very spooky in a way that after reading this, you're going to side-eye your office chat for a few days. And the last book is The Last House on the Needless Street by Katrina Ward. This book messed my head in the best possible way, and it's one of my all-time favorites. If you're craving a psychological horror, think no more and just pick this book up, because this book is so well written and the details in it are so intricate that you can't even miss like a single word in this book. Everything is so important and so well connected. I don't want to say a lot about the plot, because anything I can say can actually ruin your experience reading this book. So I really suggest you to go into this book blind. All I can tell you that this book is about a serial killer, a kid, and a cat. That's it. Anything more would do this book a disservice. Katrina Ward plays so well with memory and perspective that, when you keep questioning yourself while reading this book on what is real. And just when you think, yes, now I've figured it all out, she's going to hit you with something that's going to completely change your perspective. I read this book again late at night, and I was genuinely scared. Not because it's like, there are any jump scares or like any ghosts in this book, but this book will get under your skin. It's this kind of horror which will make you stop and think long after you have finished. You'll keep thinking about the book and what happened. You would want to discuss it with someone who has read this book previously, to discuss theories. And for me, I just wanted to again go back to chapter 1 and read the whole book again, just to see what all details I had missed and how I did not figure it out. If you're new to horror, this is an amazing book to get into, because this is not going to rely on anything cheap or anything gore. It's very cleverly written, and it's leaning on the psychological horror and the psychological tension of it all. It's unsettling, memorable, and honestly just masterful. If you have to pick any one book from this list, I please, 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 I urge you to pick this one. You won't regret it. Now I'm going to be doing something very scary. Yes, I'm going to show you something very scary. I have the Skull Panda, Impressionism, and which one do I want? My first choice is Mist. I think she's so cute. And my second choice would be Teakwood. Teakwood or Amber, both of them. Yeah, first two, 1, 2, 3 out of 9. Let's see what I get. Honestly, I have a lot of friends who don't like horror, and I fell in love with this genre very recently. And I want to urge more people to read more horror. So that's why I'm suggesting these bigger beginner friendly books. Like, trust me, I have some non beginner friendly books as well. For all beginners of this genre, it doesn't have to be terrifying, I promise you. Oh, what do I get? Ah, it's so cute! I got Dawn. Okay, she was not one of my top lists, but oh, she's so cute. Look at her eyes, so cute. So, as promised, at the end, there are some beginner friendly horror movie recommendations. If you just want to dip your toes in water for horror and not looking for books but movies, there you go. Thank me later. Till then, bye bye. Good night. Shubhratri. Bye.